Locked On WWE podcast. Now, I'm here right now. I'm just trying to going over some functionality real quick with my stream. So I've been setting up some other things. But while I'm here checking it out, more than welcome to drop in and say something. At AEW tonight, I didn't get a chance to catch it. I did see a couple. We'll check out the news. I did see Britt Baker is a little on the unhappy side. She tweeted out earlier, and I'm assuming this is following the show. The show went off the air about 45 minutes ago. Britt saying, tonight's AEW Dynamite. MJF's live promo time, 7 minutes. He's a good talker. Yeah, we're going to let him talk. Christian Cage live promo time, 10 minutes. Yeah, he's a good talker. We're going to let him talk. All of 2023, AEW Dynamite, Britt Baker live promo time, 0 minutes. So, when I initially read it, I said, well, yeah, I don't want to hear from Britt Baker. I don't have anything against Britt Baker. I think she's a great performer, a great wrestler, a great women's wrestler. I'm being honest, it's been a while since I've watched AEW, so I don't remember the last time I even heard her talk. I don't remember being wowed when she did before. But I don't know if this is a work. If it's not a work, I don't know why it would be a work. I know she's romantically involved with Adam Cole, so maybe it is a work. I don't know. But probably not the best thing to do, venting your frustrations with your company on social media. And it's pointing to a bigger problem for AEW, in my opinion. It's pointing to the fact that things are a little out of control over there. You know, I know people like to make the jokes. If I see younger people making the jokes of, oh, it's like WCW when they weren't even alive. So first off, stop. AEW and WCW really shouldn't ever be involved in the same breath because AEW's never, ever, ever, and may never, ever touch the heights that WCW did, and especially in the late 90s. Now, I guess there are similarities to the fact that it's a shit show. That'd be about the only one I'd compare them to. But I said this when CM Punk debuted over the weekend. I said, if things go well, because everybody wants to go, oh, he burned, he did this, he did that in WWE when he left. It's like, we've been with WWE to that point nearly a decade. So clearly it was something in, you know, a bit of a frustration that finally built up there. And I think we all agree. I know everybody was so happy to see Vince McMahon right off in the sunset when he left the company. So not a shock there that he would leave when he did. I'm going to tweet out that we are live. Like I said, we're just hanging out here. Sorry, I got people bothering me. I don't know. AEW seems to be coming off the rails a little bit. Now, they what's going good for them is that they have plenty of financial backing. But I know the ratings for Collision Saturday or Friday night, I'm sorry, were absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. And truth be told, I thought the Survivor Series would not be quite what they had hoped. And, obviously there was no build to CM Punk in there. But I really saw that as something that they would take a dip on the ratings just because college football, and it was a very big college football weekend. A lot of rivalry games, a lot of big games, a lot of close games. So I thought maybe that would, hurt their numbers. But I know WWE is all about fudging their numbers. But from what I've read and what I've heard, they apparently exceeded all Survivor Series numbers. Which I don't know. Are we accounting for inflation with that? I don't know, but. So I feel like there's been some bigger Survivor Series built up into some bigger Survivor Series because I going into the show I was kind of like I wasn't that excited about it necessarily, other than rumors and so on and so forth. Seeing Orton come back, that was okay, but and then how are you even accounting for those numbers too? Let's think about that. They're saying it's the biggest Survivor Series in history. It's not a pay-per-view. It wasn't like people were having to go out of their way, because when I was growing up, and many of you my age, I'm in my late 30s, many of you my age or older, remember you used to have, when you were getting a pay-per-view, you had to literally just like go out of your way to do all these things. You had to go get a box from the cable company, so drive to wherever that was to get this box. You got to rent it, so you had to pay a fee there probably. Don't remember the ins and outs of that, but I do remember having to get a box, and then you got to pay for the event itself. So it was a lot of hoops to jump through, which is one of the biggest reasons I barely got to ever order pay-per-views growing up until my dad said, screw it. Managed to find a scrambler box. He got from someone, a friend of my uncle's, I believe, which basically unlocked every pay-per-view. We were getting pay-per-view for free. We were criminals, essentially. Because every month I was coming at them. Like, I got to see this show. I got to see that show. And I can't remember exactly when we had it. I know I didn't. It was 96 when we did get it. And I don't remember. I didn't watch WrestleMania 12 live. I know that. I saw that on VHS probably a year later. But I know I did see Bash at the Beach live. I remember watching it live. And I remember my dad saying, as Hulk Hogan walked out, oh, there's the third man. Me being like 10-year-old me, 11-year-old me, wherever I was, being like, no, that's Hulk Hogan. You're crazy. Hulk Hogan's not going to be the third man. And we went quite the rabbit hole here, have we not? But Britt Baker, getting on Twitter and trashing her mic time, her promo time, the fact that she hasn't had any all year, apparently, which I feel like I've seen her. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I really haven't probably watched a full episode of AEW. I've watched some, but I haven't watched a full episode because I usually just get so like, this is just, man, it's hard to watch. It is hard to watch for a guy. I mean, man, WWE even. I'm an old fan. I like to see people selling. I like to think that what they're doing, they're trying to make me believe, right? And you get some of these matches, it's like, man, they're not even trying to make you believe. Bryan Danielson, too, coming out now that for whatever reason, I guess he's the locker room leader. Is he the Undertaker of AEW over there, I guess, now? That he was on the committee that made the decision to can Punk back in August, September. I'm Punk. I'm sending him a bouquet of flowers saying thank you. Thank you for getting me out of that contract. My God. And it's not a shock. You're hearing Britt Baker. Like, there's just that the inmates are running the asylum. And I think we're starting to really find that out. I think Punk, getting there made that more apparent than we ever thought. We never probably thought that was going on. We thought it was all friends wrestling, like Jim Cornette always referred to it as. And everybody was just happy. They were wanting to put this alternative product, and I think we all bought into that. I mean, we wanted to buy into it. We wanted to believe that. And as each passing day goes, it's seeming to me, and I'm a nobody. I'm just going off what I look at and the things I see on Twitter, not from other people, but from the talent themselves on Twitter. Is that Tony Khan has zero control of his company. Zero. I mean, you had the big brawl out. I mean, you got people messing with your top star, like guys that have never drew a dime anywhere. Say whatever you want. Bucks they haven't drawn a dime anywhere. You think Wrestle Kingdom's not selling out in New Japan with or without them? They didn't draw that. Wrestle Kingdom drew that. People are going to buy the ticket anyway. It's like WrestleMania. Nobody's drawing WrestleMania. WrestleMania is drawing WrestleMania. So, just like I feel like All In Wembley. Nobody Punk either. Nobody drew that on that roster necessarily. It was just people that are deprived who don't get to see that product live, who wanted to, and really don't get to see a ton of wrestling either way from these American companies. I mean, I know WWE tends to make 1 or 2 trips a year. You miss that, you miss it, right? They make more trips to Europe than they do to where I live. I live in Birmingham. We get 1 show a year here. Usually, and I think our next show is SmackDown in February. SmackDown Live in February. And that's generally right, because I think the last live show I've even been to was in 2016. And it was in the January, February timeline. It was a Raw. It was an awful show, too. It was actually the night after Triple H won the world title in the Rumble, which was an awful booking decision. But yeah, it was just an awful show. So, and I'm on the fence. I'm talking about going to SmackDown in a couple months, but I'm on the fence. I don't know if I'm going to spend that money on that or not. We'll see. Probably will. Why not? But I'll probably regret it after the fact. But yeah, Bryan Danielson, I don't know if you call it backstabber or not. I did read also that Punk knew ahead of time that, that Bryan was involved in this committee. Now, I love that there is a committee to fire people, but not a committee to write good television, not a committee to handle the backstage drama with the boys, keeping them online, talent relations, if you will. And if you think people like Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, these old school guys that have been around the block for a long time, if you think they're just not there collecting a check, then you're not paying attention. Jim Ross don't give a rat's ass. I mean, he wants people to watch it because it means his checks keep coming. But as far as, he's got his own issues. I know he's not on TV, but, he's going through the health ringer. So I don't even know if we'll ever see him back in AEW, because I figure at some point WWE is going to come calling, wanting him back under that umbrella, to secure his legacy with the company. Maybe Schiavone the same. I think Schiavone would have had a better chance of being in the Hall of Fame now had he not joined AEW. But you can never say never now, too, right? I mean, you look at Punk coming back. I wouldn't let Tony Schiavone in the WWE Hall of Fame until he lost the earrings. That's just me. But, well, like I said, quick stream tonight. Just wanting to work on some of this functionality with the new setup I got going here. I had to use a different software. So, and I feel like I've accomplished that. We've talked for 15 minutes. I've babbled on for 15 minutes. Nobody's listening. Nobody's watching. That's okay, though. But I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Let me see here. I can actually share the stream from here. Copy that stream link. Take that sucker over to Twitter. I also hate that they changed Twitter's name to X. Like, I didn't see that necessary, but okay. Not sure what that was about, why that was done. MJF attacked by 4 masked men. Don't care. Please leave that company, MJF. I'd love to see you in WWE. I don't know if y'all ever see Dave Meltzer constantly arguing with people on Twitter X. Ooh. I'm gonna go ahead and, can I share this into? I wanted to send that into X. I guess I need to do it at the top of the show. Can't do it now. Or can I? Sorry, I'm very new at this new software. Nothing to see here. Share the stream. Go to the chat. Continue. There we are. We're talking on. There we are on YouTube. Okay. Nobody here with us tonight so far. Too bad. Wish they were. Gonna kill that. On the X. Base. I hate this computer. I can never do my freaking hashtag because my computer, for some reason, doesn't give me a maybe I can edit it. I don't know. Let me see.